Guess what? I'm gonna be in every single video from now on.
Somebody said I was forcing her to be out in the shop. Yeah, folks are getting a little bold with the comments lately out there. So I'm wondering if I've got a new audience that's been attracted, or if I just upset people enough to a point where they just feel like just pulling out all the stops and just saying whatever they feel like. Either way, there's been some rudeness going on in comment land lately. Don't understand why. I mean, I'm not being rude. Are you being rude? I wasn't being rude. Nobody knows who's being rude. Anyway.
Maybe they're just not very nice.
That's what it is. Yeah, well, there's a lot of not nice people out there. Anyway, we're gonna go back to this not nice injector job over here. All right, folks, we're in the home stretch here. I put a couple knick-knacky items on over there on the passenger side when y'all weren't looking. We're over here on the driver's side. It's time to get the covers reinstalled, and then we'll get these fuel lines on here and get hopefully get all this stuff buttoned up by end of day. I'm really pushing hard to get this thing at a level of completion. We need to restarting the engine soon. Like I said, I need this rack very, very much. I need the space. And I've got a backlog of trucks that can't be worked on because this thing's tying up the stall. So like I said, I'm really getting after it. All of our sealing surfaces down here have been cleaned up. Injectors are installed, torqued down, all the debris is removed. We're ready to rock and roll. So let's get our lower cover in position. So this here is the less desirable to work on side because there's a few more obstructions in the way to contend with. But we got this thing apart without issue. We're gonna get it back together without issue. That's how I'm gonna look at it. Just get it done. No distractions. I locked the gate. No one's coming in. No one's going out. Uh-oh, gasket's falling out. There we go. Let's get this lined up. Come on now. There we go. Cover's in position. We got 11 perimeter bolts. Let's get them dropped in and torqued down. Uh-oh, I did it again. I forgot my injector return line again. Hang on here. Way ahead of myself. Almost had to do it twice. Yeah, that was twice I made the same type of error. Completely forgot to put that return line in. It's not a normal feature from like what I'm used to working on. That's probably why my muscle memory forgets. Yeah, a lot of common rails don't have a return line such as this one. They're just, they're usually like smaller plastic ones and they're not inside of the valve covers. But again, this is that weird red-headed stepchild design that nobody likes for obvious reasons. I don't like it either. It's like the, I think the 6.0s were like this, weren't they? The 6.0 Fords had a similar design where everything was buried in the valve cover. Nobody liked it. Okay, let's get those last little rubber plugs out, or plastic plugs. Same difference, these things. Don't need them, don't want them, don't like them. Need to remove them. Real tight squeeze back there. I think I got it. Yeah. Last one right there. Okay, back on track. Got the return line coming in. It has the new seals and new bolts for the banjo fittings already in place. We just got to get these guys lined up on the injectors that I cannot see. Start getting everything threaded on, and then we will apply the appropriate amount of torque to tighten these units down. As long as they thread in. Here we go. That one's going on. Thread the next one. This is going very well. So far, so good. That one's being reluctant. The threads don't want to catch. Give it a wiggle and we should be all right. There we go. And of course, there's that one out back. Some light down there. There she is. Almost. There it is. I feel it. That's catching. Okay, let's spin those down with the ratchet and then hit them with the torque wrench. Electron ratchet. Going the wrong way. That was not what I wanted to do. Reverse. I'll reverse it into the forward direction. We're just gonna seat them. And again, final torque with the torque wrench. Come here. The boost pipe's getting me. Okay, that one. The one out back in the hard to reach places. Pre-click. There we go. And of course there's that 13 at the end, the last finalized banjo fitting where the line bolts back into the galley in the head. There we go. Good. All right, time to inch pound it. Start with that return line, or the final one, the one to the head. There it is. Beautiful. Okay, moving on, let's get the other four and then we can get that lower cover back in position here. Looking down ever so slightly. We're at a 12 foot-pounds of torque or 144 inch-pounds, whatever suits your fancy on the units used. And if you wish for Newton meters, just use the Google calculator, the conversion unit. I forget what they were in Newton meters. I don't speak that much metric. Last one. All right, good to go. Fuel return line torqued to spec. Let's go ahead and move her. Okay, maneuvering in the lower cover for a second time. Love my job so much, I do it twice. What I'm not gonna do twice though is smear the sealant on the upper cover. I made that error on the passenger side and I will not be repeating history on the driver's side. History is a big deal. We should learn from it. Those who do not learn from history are destined to repeat it. And that's usually a negative. That can be a bad thing. Okay, cover is seated. That's in position. The gasket didn't go anywhere. That looks good. Let's drop in all these fasteners and get them started. Let's get everything lined up here. There. Beginning torque wrench sequence now. We're down to, this is an 89 inch-pound spec on these perimeter bolts. Now I believe when we found them, they were tightened to 89 foot-pounds, a little over. There's a click. We're just gonna go in a crisscross sequence. That one's good. That one's good. Okay, now for the rear ones, that's where it's gonna get good. Had that one a little over, but I'm not gonna adjust it. It's fine. That one had a turn, and there's 2 or 3 really gnarly, hard to get to units in the back. Figure out the best way to articulate ourselves in here to make sure we get this right. Need my extension. That one's not very tight at all. Yeah, I didn't get that one tight at all. Not even to begin with. And I know the bottom right one is also loose. Loosey goosey. Here we go. Oops, it came out. Come on. Here we go, we're getting tight. Oh, good. A little more. Got it. Okay, that one's tight. Let's get the hard ones next. They're back there. Tight, and the last one is the bottom corner. I might not even be able to get the torque wrench into that one. I may just have to tighten that up with a regular little ratchet. Call it a day. Yeah, that one's buried. Way not nice and deep like. Or I'll have to get an extension on it and go to the other side of the steering gear here, try to torque it from over there, but I don't know. That's a tough one. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to guesstimate this one. There is no way I'm getting that torque wrench down in this hole. Fortunately, I think I've got some grace to use with discretion here on how tight I make this. You know, we're not gonna get a wrench on that. Yeah, we're not gonna get a wrench on that one, no way. But there we go, click. That one's good. All set, no problem. Stage 1 of the valve cover complete. Let's get stage 2 prepped and ready to rock and roll after I bolt down the injector wiring harnesses. Okay, let's get some sealant in position on these little valleys right here so the wire harness does not cause an oil leak. A little bit of RTV. There we go. Let's get those harnesses down into position. Oh, I need a stool. Raise my elevation. There we go. Cap and cap. Not gonna forget these caps this time. Let's lose these guys. Again, those are the ones for the injector lines. Let's set that guy down in position here. There we go. 2 10 milli fasteners to hold down the bracket. We're making really good time, I think, in my estimation. We'll see though. I'll look up and we'll be out of daylight. Pre-clickages. Those guys are good. Next one. Save those for later. I'm sure I can use them for something. Vacuum caps or something of that nature. Here's the harness. We get the 2 10s in position here. And again, the 7s for the bolts on the actual wires will be done manually. We don't impact electronics. That's a bad move. Okay, 7 mil coming in for the nuts on the solenoids. Not silinoids. Someone said when I say that, they hear silinoid. And I don't say silinoid. It's not a silinoid. It's a solenoid. Of course, someone also told me I was gonna get sued by a taxpayer watchdog group over providing maintenance services for a police vehicle, even though it wasn't actually a police vehicle. It's a police demo vehicle. But either way, I'm still gonna get sued by the taxpayers. Sounds like somebody's a little upset over the fact that law enforcement exists. You know, I find that interesting as it is, because I'm of the opinion that law enforcement actually protects criminals by offering them due process and a fair opportunity for justice. So if you think about it, back in the day, we had what was called frontier justice or even street justice. And so if someone committed a crime against an individual or their family, you know, let's say a guy murdered someone, or they got into a fight and the other guy ended up perishing in said fight. Well, civilized justice would bring that person to trial, and a jury of their peers could determine if there was guilt or not. But frontier justice or street justice, the family or the survivors of the person who lost the altercation may seek retribution, in which case that person could be killed. So in reality, I think law enforcement prevents an uncivilized population from carrying out street justice or frontier justice. So if we did not have law enforcement, then people would take direct action against criminal action to solve the problem. So in a way, if we didn't have police, we would have chaos. So everybody running around hating on law enforcement should really think twice about that, because the alternative is a very scary proposition. I mean, I get we all have our gripes with law enforcement. I mean, well, not all of us, but people do. You know, let's just acknowledge that for the reality of what it is. But that doesn't mean we need to run around hating on the people that would protect somebody without question. Just a thought. I don't know, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. That might cause some but you know, it's 2024 and some of these conversations actually should be had. Whether this is an automotive channel or not, we all do live in the same reality and we should conduct ourselves accordingly, in my opinion, of course. Regardless, law enforcement or not, this thing's ready to go back together. I've got the cover over yonder. I've already installed the new fuel line seals that seal up the line as it goes into the valve cover. Those seals are in. We've cleaned off everything and sealant has already been applied. So let's get that thing in position and fasten down ASAP. All right, here she comes. Upper cover. Let's do a mental recheck real quick, make sure I didn't forget anything silly. Caps are gone. Line is on. Lower is torqued. That's what we wanted. Let's see. Brackets for the injectors are on. Yeah, this thing's it's ready to go in. So again, just like the other side, need to make sure I don't smear my sealant. Trying to get this maneuvered into position here. There's a couple extra obstructions on this side, so I'm not paying any mind to the camera view. Sorry fellas, but need to get this just absolutely perfect. Okay, looking at the bottom, I think I'm in good shape here. I think. Oh. Here we go, we're coming in and making contact now. All right. It has made initial contact with the lower cover. Okay. Let's get a couple bolts in to maintain location. Ooh. Let's get that next one there. Okay, now it can't move. That's good. Sweet. She's in. So, we'll go around and get the rest of these bolts in position here, and then we can get everything torqued to specified specifications. Let's get a few of the bottom ones going here. One way out back, that little pesky bugger. Okay, that one's good. Next one, way deep in that corner. Now there were a couple of these that were super stripped out, and I'm not going to reuse them. But I've got some M6 threaded hex fasteners. They're Torx on the inside and 10 mil on the outside. We can use those to substitute for the ones that aren't really suitable for reuse. Okay, time to apply some torque action to these units, and then we'll move on to the injector lines. Yeah. Okay, we're going for 71 inch-pounds on these upper bolts. Let's get some tools in position here. That boost pipe's annoying. 71 inch-pounds on the clicky wrench. Clickage. Okay, that's one. I'm gonna go in a similar sequence as the lowers. Top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, and then we'll get the ends. That's to prevent warpages. See the sealant squeezing out? Good. Okay, next one down. Excellent. Let's go up back and get a couple more.
Home stretch.
Right? About time. Thing's been here a month. There we go. And I need to bust out a 10 mil for that that new fastener we had to substitute in. It's the one down there under the fuel lines again. So here, we'll take this little bracket, kind of stuff that out of the way. Again, 10 milli. There we go. Ah, I got the sealant on me.
I got the poo on me.
There we go, 71 inch-pounds. And while I've got this 10 out, let's go ahead and look straight down. There's that other 10. We'll get that one tight, and then we can retire this tool configuration. Go back to that that hex bit. Clicks, got that one. Another thread. That one's a little tight. Too tight to do by hand. It's threaded, it's just not wanting to turn. There. I wonder if that ratchet just achieved 71 inch-pounds. Let's find out. Yes, it did. A few more going on back here. There's the top one, and then those two on the side, or in the back, in the rear. Those last ones, you know what I mean. That might be another similar situation where I can't get this torque wrench in there, and I'll just have to do it by hand and by feel. There we go. Ooh. Yeah, I can torque this one. I'll be able to get this one. That's good. Torqued achieved. And the last one. Let's not make this difficult, vehicle. Ah, more schmoo on me.
Is it done? How much is in there?
Yeah, there's no torque wrench going in there. We're just gonna do this with the little ratchet. Reaching back around behind that steering shaft here. Good thing these are wobble extensions. They don't necessarily have to run straight. But again, that's tough. Okay, tightening. And click. Okay, that one's good. Excellent. Okay, let's back it up again, and we're gonna move on to the fuel lines. Woohoo. Let's get these guys out of here. Good. All right, fuel line number 1, actually number 2 position here coming in. The curved ones are the inboards, and then the more straighter bent fuel lines, those are gonna be the outboards. So kind of tough to get them mixed up, but it is possible. There we go, let's get these things down in position just like the other side. Start to tighten them down. Make sure all the threads are lined up and seating. That one's good. And then we'll take a look here. That line is matching up with the fuel rail. So let's get this fitting screwed in. Get her threaded on here. Come on, fitting. We're in a hurry here. We're trying to get this thing done. not trying to poke around. There we go. Threads are catching. Good. 19 wrench coming in. We'll spin these down the rest of the way with a wrench. Okay, that one's still feeling good. No binding, no nonsense. Injector line, or the injector side rather. That one's feeling good. And just in case I manage to get these installed in the wrong position, which it's kind of hard to do, I'm not going to tighten them down fully until all of them are in position here. So coming in with the next curvy line, a little bit of lubricant just to get this piece past that seal. A little bit of dab right here just so that seal can't roll. It's not super duper critical, but I'm gonna do it that way. Ow. Okay, that one hit the injector. We heard it. It went clickage. So we'll start her off down here on that side. Because see, we can't see the injector side. It's under the valve cover. But we can see the fuel rail side. That can help the manipulation of said components. Oh, one thing I didn't mention earlier on the other side, once these are tightened down, we're gonna fill these little voids here with some silicone, a little bit of sealant. That way, water can't make its way into those fittings and rust from the inside. It won't really hurt anything, but it can make these a bear to remove at a later date. So we just want to prevent water from going down inside of there. Yep, those threads are still smooth. There's no binding in the fuel line. See, these are supposed to be one-time use only fuel lines because they tend to crush in order to seal down at that little nipple thing right there. And if you try to reuse them, they can leak and you'll get a high pressure fuel spray leak. It's very difficult to detect, especially under the valve cover. So what it'll do is it'll flood the engine oil with fuel and dilute it. And then that overfills the oil level, which is not okay. We got one more, this one of the straight ones here. I think this goes on the front side. See how she fits. Yep, that feels good, looks good. Let's get this one started. Okay, and then again on the rail. Very nice. It's coming together quite swimmingly, says I. Good. Yeah, no power tools here, guys. Okay, that one's seated. Okay, let's get that one out back. Rolling the stool out. Grab the lube. A little bit right here on that little flare. Smear it around some. Perfect. There we go. I just felt it touch the injector. Threads are catching. Just give it a pull to make sure. Yep. And don't tell me line wrench. There's no reason for me to line wrench this. I've got all the space in the world to use better wrenches, and these are faster than a line wrench because a line wrench is going to engage 5 of the 6 sides on a fastener, and this is only engaging 4 of the 6. Technically 2 of the 6, but the line wrenches wrap around the whole fastener. We don't need to do all that. Line wrenches are for stuff where a regular wrench is going to slip off, but most modern regular wrenches, or the good ones anyway, tend to have these relief grooves in them which engage the fastener out on the flank of the tip. So they won't touch the tip, they'll engage the flank of the tip, which is a much stronger area and has less probability of rounding off. So my wrenches are kind of better than a line wrench, even though a line wrench will visually contact more of a fastener. When it comes to applying torque, they have less driving power. Which is why I don't always use a line wrench. I use them when I need to, and I've got a very good set, but for something like this, it's faster to just use an open end. Okay, that one's tight. That one's getting tighter. Let me check this one again down here. Yeah, that way it works. Beautiful. Definitely reaching home stretch territory now, folks. Kicks. Final torquages. No. There we go. That's the angle that we're looking for. Beautiful. Good, good, good. There we go. Good. There we go. One more. Oh yeah. Excellent. Love it. Well, like I was saying, we're gonna throw some RTV down in those gaps there to keep the water from getting in to this injector fitting. It won't contaminate the internals, but if you go to take them off and that water's in there, it'll dump it into the valve cover, or it'll just cause rust. Now smear that in nice like. Oh, look, I got the shmoo on me. I came pre-dielectrically lubricated. A little bit in there, just smear it in nice and deep like. There we go. No moisture here. little bit on the back. Excellent. Last one right there. Smooth it out with a flange so it looks nice and pretty. Same thing on that one. And I've already got the other side taken care of, so no worries. All right, so while we're still back in this corner, let's get that glow plug control module set back up and put back in its position here. This guy is gonna slide in right there. This is the unit that lights up the glow plug, and this is also where we piggybacked power for the electric fuel pump down below. So we're kind of serving two functions with the electrical connectors on this unit right here. Okay, let's get those guys tight. I think those were 12 mil. Yep. Clicks. Twice clicks. There we go. Good. Alrighty, let's back this up a little bit and figure out where these wiring harnesses and connectors go. And we'll get this stuff set back up in its position. Get everybody reconnected. That's gonna be fun. And then kind of move on from there. Let's see, I know this one, this is that weird, goofy crossover PCB pipe. Let's get this guy on. I think we have to work around it. We'll leave that alone for right now. Back to the wiring harness, which is all over the place. Let's see how I'm supposed to be doing this here. That guy, yeah, that's all gonna go over there. This thing gets tucked in here, I believe. Okay, here we go. There's one connector, that's for the fuel injectors on the other side. That means this is its corresponding connector, so that's got to go out back. Let's run this guy down under that PCV hose. There we go. Okay, second set of injectors is connected. Good, 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 good. You may as well connect this fuel injection control module here. That's the FICM. Yeah, we're gonna go with what we know and move on from there. It's the easiest way to figure out where all this stuff goes. And this guy, that's gonna plug in right here, but we're gonna leave that loose for now. Need to tighten that up. No connectors here, nothing here. That's one, I think that goes to coolant temp sensor. We need to get this guy down below that goes to the CP3 pump. You know, a lot of folks were questioning the CP3 pump earlier, and based on the knowledge that it was recently replaced, I wasn't finding fault in the CP3. It was building pressure on the scan tool. That doesn't mean it was building pressure all the time, and it could have had something to do with our drivability issue. But again, we did these injectors based on return rates, so I might be going in here to put a pump in this. We wanted to do the injectors first, and then we can address any additional issues afterwards. So basically, we did the hard part first, and then we can worry about the remainder of it later on. Okay, around back, there's a fuel rail pressure sensor. This guy right here is critical, just like that connector on the CP3. Let's get that guy snapped into place. Is that the right one? It should be. Yep, that one's on. So we've got a groove right here on this piece of the harness connector. That's gonna slide over that unit. A little bracket right there. And we've got a couple miscellaneous random connectors here kind of hanging out. That one's gonna go to a set of injectors right here. That one's on. Let's see, this one back here, there's another that looks like a temperature sensor for the fuel rail. It may not be exactly what I'm calling them, but that's what I think they are. I didn't look up exactly what those units were called. There's another injector connector. They're running 2 injectors per connector through here. Snap that guy on, good. Yeah, definitely a tight squeeze through here. This is the main harnesses, the 28 and the 32 pin. So let's look, see where this stuff all needs to be mounted. I think that one's gonna go there. Okay, again, going with what we know, this bracket goes right here. So we'll set that bracket up and then figure out where all the connectors go that are coming off of that bracket. Go with what you know, and figure the rest out later. Clicks. Okay, that's good. So we know this connector goes here. We'll do that in a second. This one appears to go probably right here. How many more connections do we have? There's that one in the back. Here's how we'll do this. That one there. That one's gonna go, yeah. And then since this blue wire is a little longer, I've got more space, I'm assuming this one is gonna go right there. Looks good. Real good. Negative, this is all wrong. I did it wrong. I just looked at the other LB7 that I have here, and that didn't need to come out. I just looked at my other DURAMAX that's here, and I have those wired wrong. They're not terribly wrong, but they're wrong enough to not be right. So we're gonna correct my my incorrect situation. Oh, there we go. That one goes there. That one goes there. That is the way. Then there's another one in the back hiding out that I missed. This one goes here. That is the correct way. Whew, crisis averted. Yeah, when in doubt, just check somebody else's test answers. See if you got it right or not. And I was not right. This socket is also not right. I'm trying to run a 13 fastener with a 12 socket front row. It's cool though. I've got other sockets. Click. Come here, piece of rubber. That goes there. I might have to go in here again later on to connect that fuel line or fuel pump power line. It may go to one of these guys, but it also might connect up here, I forget. But I'll check that later on, because I'm not ready to put that line back in just yet. That's aftermarket stuff, and we're gonna do the aftermarket stuff last. Although it is critical to this configuration, because we're gonna need that lift pump to get this thing to run. There is no factory fuel primer pump installed in this truck. It's been deleted. So next up, let's go ahead and plug the fuel lines in. Right here and right here. Those also get a pair of retainer clips here. Slide those guys in, snap them on. There we go. We need a fastener for this bracket right here. That one should do. Kicks. Cool. Okay, so everything down here is looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and get this wiring harness assembly bolted back down. I've got to get this hose on one more time. I keep taking this hose off, putting it back on, taking it off, putting it back on. I think we're done taking it off. So we'll slide that hose back on. I'm gonna bolt down this harness bracket right here and then start to reconnect the engine to the vehicle's wiring systems. So we got 2 more fasteners that hold that guy down. Let's run these in. Kicks. Very good. Got another sensor connector here. That one bolts on like so. Let's see, this connector, that connects right up in there. Let's click that guy in position. That one's good. Okay, so all these, all but this one are connected off of this main engine side of the harness. That all looks good to my eyeballs. Now let's back her up some and we'll fold over the vehicle side of the harness and start to get this stuff set up in position here. Once these guys are all connected and in place, we can go ahead and we'll get the alternator and that AC compressor reinstalled. There's our big one. There's our little one. This is the bracket to retain those. That's in good shape. Looking good here. Where does this thing go? That's the alternator wire. We'll get that one later. That one goes off to the side. There's a couple more connectors over here. Don't know where that one leads to just yet. Okay. So we're nearly complete back here in this quadrant. Found the power wire that goes to that control module. Let's go ahead and get the boost tube. Wow, that was a linguistic error. Let's get our boost pipe tube. That's what I wanted. We'll get that guy set up in its home down here. We'll get that boost pipe clamped on. Wiggle it in, get it oriented properly. I've checked these holes, by the way, for blue towels, and they have been recovered at this point. So there are no blue towels in the intake stream. Just heads up. Yeah, that clamp's there in position. This one is also in position here. Let's go fetch a 11 mil or 7/16 and tighten down our band clamps. Clamp clickage. Give me back my socket. There. And of course the one down below. Grab it by hand here. I don't think I have that pipe seated fully. Let me reach over here and get this in. There we go. Okay. Let's tighten this next one down. Minimal visual access. Clamping complete. Beautiful. Okay, I think we're ready for the thermostats. 2 of them. There's a low temp and a high temp. We're ready for the thermostats and the coolant pipe real quick. Let's get this guy set up in position. Pipe's coming in. Yep, that's gonna bolt onto this valve cover right here. You can't see. That's why I left that fastener in, to remind myself. That's good. She's gonna go right there. The question is this harness, which side does that go on? I think it comes down under. So we'll move all this stuff over here. There we go. That looks good. Wires are out of the way. Yepper. Okay. So I think first we'll bolt this side down, then follow the pipe back all the way to the radiator. Alrighty, yeah, we've got 4 fasteners here to bolt down this thermostat housing. So let's get these units dropped in. 2 on the back side and then 2 on this side. I found this connector, that one goes right here to the temp probe. It was staring at me in the face the whole time and I was just looking right past it. There, now that's connected. There we go. Let's tighten these units down. Click. All right, that's good to go here, says I. Yeah, this one's the bleed valve connector right there. We'll deal with that in a minute. And then we've got the one more right here for the bracket. Just push all these electrical lines out of the way, make sure they're not pinched. Clicks. See, we've got a turbo coolant line right here. It's for my turbine charger. Got 1 clamp on it. There we go. And that's not working. Let's do it like this. Ah, get on there, stupid clamp. Seriously? Get on there, you. The whole project stops because of a clamp. Come on. Ooh, my knees. My knees are bending backwards trying to reach this thing. Almost. There we go. Got her. That was fun. Woo! Okay, let's get the upper radiator hose plugged back into the radiator. Like so. See, now that clamp, we got to get a screwdriver in there and release the holding mechanism right here. Unclick, please. It's not doing it. There. Okay, it's accessory time. Let's get the, where are we at on this side? The AC compressor. Let's drop our compressor in and get that thing plugged up, then we'll move over to the alternator. Bolts are still sitting in it, so I just drop that down into position here. Get them started. Let's see which wires go in which positions. This one, that's our compressor actuation wire, and then this guy right here, I think that goes on one of the lines. Looks like a pressure sensor. The line is still not installed just yet. Okay, 15 mil coming in. Good. And I'll get it with a manual wrench just to make sure we're good. Yep. Yep, again. Last one, clickage. Beautiful. Okay, we've got one AC line in position here. Let's drop that guy down. That bolts in like so. There we go. The other line, that one's hanging out way over there on the other side. Bring that guy over. There's our pressure sensor. Come here, bolt. Beautiful. Wait. I need to leave that space here for the alternator. A little bit ahead of myself, no worries. So, having said that, let's get the nadir out next. Okay, DR44G incoming. Got two 15s that bolted in. Let's take this guy and drop it down into its home here. Give it a bit of a wiggle. That's good. Okay, bolts coming in. There's one 15. A little out of alignment there, no worries. And the second one, down below, it's very out of alignment. Pry driver. Yeah, we can pry it into alignment here. Bring that up some, or not. Yeah, it's a little too far down. Let's see here. Nope. Here we go. Curvy, angular pry bar for the win on this one. Get under that nadir, under the case, and pry it up some. There. Now I can at least kind of gauge where that hole is. There she goes. The bolts in. Let's run them down. Here's super shallow 15 socket, 1/4 inch drive. The unicorn of all sockets. Clicks. Twice clicks. There we go. Okay, wiring harness. That's next. Again, here we'll take that AC line that we could not install earlier. We'll get that guy in position. Good. Two more bolts. Wrong size socket again. I'll just bring all the sockets out. Tight. Twice tight. Okay, so let's bring this pressure sensor connector into position. Clip you on. The rest of the harness, we've got the alternator wire. Let's clip that guy in its home there. We can probably go ahead and bring in the nadir power supply wire as well. Yeah, tuck that down here. It's a single 10mm nut. There we go. Yeah, that's the one that was all boogered up a little bit, as if somebody had installed it with pliers. No matter. Okay, that guy's in position. This is good. Got very few connections left. These are going to run back to the AC components on the firewall, so we'll get those last. Let's go ahead, we'll dig our belt out and get the belt set up while we're here. See no reason to not do that at this time. But I don't remember where. Oh, there it is. I see the top of it. It fell off of the power steering pump. Let's get this thing in position. Uh-oh, came off the crank down there too. I need to wrap it around. Re-wrapping the belt. This is gotta be done very carefully here. I keep knocking it off the crankshaft. That's going there. I don't think I've got it right. No, I don't. This one goes up here. I know what we do. Bring it down around that idler. That might not be right either. Maybe it is. Yeah, I should bring up this loop to the nadir. Yeah, let's try that. Got a wrench right here that's going on, ratchet, going on the tensioner. Let's see here. You guys can't see what I'm doing. There's a shocker. Here we go. Got it. Okay, let's recover the ratchet here. Moving on to some more piping. I already threw the intake pipe on for the turbo when you guys weren't looking. So we need to get, or no, that's the cold side pipe from the intercooler. Now we need to get the intake pipe on to the turbine, which is going to consist of the air filter lid as well. Here, let's get the intake lid kind of in position here. The tube's coming in. Now, I removed this this kind of hose conglomeration thing, which was holding in this grease gun cap, which was serving as the block off plug for the big turbo sound baffle that usually goes in this position. People take those turbo baffles off because it makes your turbine louder, but the problem is you got to do it the right way. Otherwise you get an intake leak and the mass airflow won't know what's going on and it won't fuel properly. So that is a problem. It wasn't the problem, but it's definitely a problem. This actually belongs to my smoke test machine, so I'm not going to leave it here, but for initial testing purposes it can be there. But I am taking it back later on. Okay, intake lid is in position. Mass airflow sensor connector right here. Plug that guy in. Let's get some clamps tight. Now I'm gonna have to run this truck up in the air. Did that just break? Yeah, it did. Look at that. Broke the clamp off. What a piece. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna have to get this thing up in the air and come here. Change the oil real quick before we try to hit the key, because I wrenched a bunch of nasty down into the oil pan. Yeah, I need a new clamp. Here, let's chop off these little protrusions right here that we're fitting into the clamp. That one's mostly chopped off. Okay, that's fine. Here we go. I made a new clamp out of two other clamps. So we're gonna use that one. Let's see here. We should be going, let me turn this around. It's facing in the incorrect direction here. Flip. There we go. That's more better. Put that guy back in. Ow, I smashed my finger on that stupid clamp. That hurt. It was a rapid smash. It's okay though. I can't see if I'm bleeding or not. That's fine. There we go. Let's try this again. Clamp clickage, good. And a similar procedure right here on this one. Airflow is still connected. Need to get the screws in position to hold the airbox lid down. We've got all four of them here. A lot of times some of these get lost and you only end up with like 2 or 3. Or they get stripped out. Need a longer driver. There we go. The long one will make my reach better. Cool. Next one. Home stretch time. I'm getting excited. Okay, so next up, I'm going to connect the batteries, run this thing up in the air, figure out how to reconnect that fuel pump wire over yonder. After we change the oil, we're gonna let her back down. I'll see you guys when it's time to restart the engine. Let me go finish up some of this little minor detail work. And that, no! That was awesome. Yeah, let me finish up this minor detail work and kind of double check everything. And then we're gonna hit the key and fire this unit back up. Don't go anywhere. Okie dokes, got 10 quarts of oil in it, about 3 gallons of coolant, batteries are on the chargers. I figured out the power supply wire for that fuel pump. Let's go key it on and crank it 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 until it decides to start. Then we'll let it warm up, inspect it, and go from there. There we go, key on. So our pump should be running. Let's check it down here. Yep, I hear it. Fuel pump's running. Let's let that go for a second. It should be circulating and hopefully purging some air out of the whole system here. Yeah, I can hear air bubbles flowing around. There's still going to be plenty of air inside of the injector tubes, but that stuff's going to have to purge as the injector solenoids fire. Looking good, still looking good. Let's lose the funnel. Get that thing out of the way for right now. Engine oil. I think we're ready to rock and roll here. Let's try it. Let's hit the key, see what she does. It's either gonna work or it's not. You clear, Dave? Yeah. Beginning engine starting sequence now. It's thinking about it. It's cranking faster. Ha 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 ha! There she goes. All right, it's running. She's a running. We're just gonna leave her alone right now. Let it come up to temp some. I think I need to add some more coolant. I'll check back with you guys in a moment. Okay, I see nothing leaking. Good. Good, 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 good. I like it. Okay, let's shut down the charger. I think we can disconnect that now that we have an alternator. Sweet. Probably should turn on the exhaust fan here and make it do the fan that way. Yeah, fanning. One more exhaust fan. There we go. Let's give her some throttles and see what she does. Here, towel. Yeah, we put a window regulator in it too. Not done yet, but we did. Hoorah. Here, let's plug our scanner in. While she's running, let's just take a quick peek and see what those balance rates look like. I know it's not up to temp yet. That's not an ideal way to check balance rates, but I want to at least compare to what the old ones were when we left off. I tell you, the starting happened much faster, so that was good. We'll check for some codes in here as well. Engine, AT, codes menu. What are we looking like? Displaying digital trouble codes. All powertrains, nothing. Good. Now we're gonna back out, go into data. No. And data, yep. Data display, fuel data. Looking for injector balance rates. Well, we have injector pulse in milliseconds, 38, 40, 47, 46, 40, 38, that's good. And balance rates, got 1 through 8. We're negative. Number 3 is up a little high. That's within spec though. We don't have a spread of 7 or 8 like we had prior, so that's good. Tell you what, I'm gonna get on the brakes a little bit and put it in gear. Driver door ajar. Yeah, number 3 is not too particularly happy here, but that doesn't mean that's an injector issue. That could also mean that one's running slightly low compression or something of that nature. but we're fairly balanced. We've got a spread of 4.5. The biggest issue here is what we do not have, and we don't have a long crank. And now we're up to 4. I'll have to recheck this once we reach operating temperature, but we don't have a long crank, and we shouldn't have a hot restart issue. Okay, we need to let this thing come up to temp. I need to purge the cooling system of any air and refill it a little bit, check the engine oil level, that we can get it off the rack and maybe back this unit out. Perhaps we'll take it out on the test drive before I roll out today. There's the bleeder valve. Let's crack it open. No coolant just yet. How we doing? Yeah, we're low again. Need more coolant. More coolant. Fill it all the way up. Gives us extra so we can purge it out. Spilling some. Yep, nothing yet. Yeah, it's nowhere near warm enough. Thermostats are still closed. That was a mess. Woohoo, there we go. Aye. There. More coolant. Give it a squeeze. That's good for now. Okay, let's button this up for right now. I'm gonna try to back this thing off the rack and get it out of the building, and then at least give it a spin around the block, see how she does. All right, let's hop in this unit, get her backed out, and see how she rides. Backing out, kind of a tight squeeze because this thing's just as long as the other one, or as mine. Crew cab, long bed, 157.3 inch wheelbase. Long reach version. All right, let's get her out on the road. I'm gonna take it easy a little bit, just kind of spin it around the block. Then we'll come out and get her over the bridge and open it up some after it reaches operating temperature. Oh, that's nice. These balance rates are starting to calm down too. We went from that 4 down to 1.6, 1.7, 1.5, so that's pretty good. We're in gear, temps coming up, so these are doing what I want to see them do. And now what the balance rates do not show us is the return rate on the injectors, and that was the issue with the original set, is they were returning too much fuel, causing a low pressure on the high pressure side, and we couldn't build enough pressure to get the thing to light off and fire. So as we learned even from that cold start, with very little cranking, it had no issue firing up with a new set of injectors. So I think we're looking really good here. Sounds good. Transmission shudders a little bit when she shifts. Probably needs a fluid exchange and a new filter. Yeah, you see here, while we're rolling around and moving and on the throttle, we have no balance rate correction. These balance rates are only there to indicate or to let you know what's changing at idle to maintain a consistent idle. That's all that those are for, but they are a good key point indicator to indicate possible other issues. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take her easy over the bridge here, and then once I got full gauge activity on my temp gauge, we'll come back over the bridge and kind of open it up a little bit. Yeah, I've never driven this truck before. It's weird. Kind of scary driving a truck that hasn't moved in 2 or 3 years. I bet it's happy to wake up again. So normally we would cut a left right here, but I'm gonna go ahead and make a right. We'll circle back around one more time and then give this thing the wide open throttle treatment back on this bridge. Whoa, this thing rides like a tank. Shock absorbers are stiff. Nice. Okay, let's head back to the shop area. I think I can get there from this road here. Maybe not, don't know. Hello, Ossifer. Okay, I don't know if this neighborhood takes me back to my shop area or not, so we're just gonna go back to the road we just turned off of, and then we'll hit the bridge back up again. What are we, 3 or 4 way or no way stop sign? Okay. Looking left, looking right, looking good, rolling out. And we're in traffic. That's fine. Gives us more run time. Let's check for pending trouble codes while we're hanging out here. I don't think we're gonna see anything, but you never know. Nope, nada. No codes showing up. It tells me I got everything connected, and that's good. It's easy to miss something. Uh-oh. The police unit has displaced their position, and he is now back out on the prowl. Nope, not behind me. Cool. Yeah, don't forget that the tag on this truck expired 2 years ago. It's legal for me to drive it because this vehicle is covered under my shopkeeper's policy. However, that does not mean that an officer would not pull me over for an expired tag. So it's kind of like this gray area of risk management. Can we go? It's a green light, people. Go, you can drive now. There you go, you figured it out. Good job. Put the phone down. And then somebody be like, you need to put the camera down. Whee! Okay, back on our bridge. Let's cut this left and we'll give it some power application going over the bridge. Unless that cop's over there with a radar gun. I'm going for it. Looks like I got a break in traffic coming through and a yellow light. All right. All right. I'm not going full throttle yet. We're gonna roll into it real slow. There we go. We're riding. I'm into it about 100% throttle. Getting raced by a Ford. There you go, F-150 guy. Okay, real good. Hey, the brakes work. That's also good. Cool beans. All right, I'm gonna head back to the shop and we're gonna shut this down since we're at full temp now. And I'm gonna give it a restart to make sure that it will do the hot restart. That was one of the other issues with it, is you could drive it about a mile, he said, and that after you got it running. And then if you shut it down, or it would stall out and shut itself down, and then there would be no restart. So another symptom indicative of low fuel pressure. And in our case, again, that was due to a 1 or more return rates being excessively high on the injector units. Green light, yes. Okay, let's nose her back into the shop here in a minute. See what she does. Whoa, motorcycle guy. Watch out, you're everywhere. There's that cop. I see you again. Bum, bum, bum. He's looking for me. I see you seeing me. Yeah. He's like, I saw what you did with that police car the other day, Ray. Watching you. Watching you. Watching me. More steam. Oh, she's got some torque to it. I like this little engine. Definitely has some pick up and go. All right, swinging back in. I'm so excited. This is just making my day that this truck's in good condition. Let's nose her in here. Vibration in the column. Here she is. Parking the auto, moment of truth. Shutting down. Restarting. Victory is at hand. Yep, that's a win for me. We're gonna give this thing a couple more test drives. There's more work to do. I've got to get the AC system recharged, put the door panel back on, clean up some of the mess, give it another little inspection to see if there's any other items that our guy wants to take care of. But I think that is gonna conclude this particular series out on this fuel injector job on this LB7 2004 Chevrolet 2500 HD DURAMAX. So, as always, guys, I'd like to thank you for watching this video, or a series of videos, rather. Again, reminder, I will place the links to all the previous videos on this truck down inside this video's description, and you may go back and review those at your leisure if you wish. As always, and again, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you watching all these videos, especially all the way to the end. Since you are here all the way to the end, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that you like this video. And if in fact my assumption is correct, please feel free to communicate that to me effectively by tapping that like button down below. Do not forget to consider subscribing to the channel while you're down there. It's things like likes, shares, comments, and subscriptions that help promote the channel to the algorithm. And if you could do any one of those particular things for me, I would really appreciate it, because even the small things really help. So guys, again, and as always, thank you for watching, and most importantly, have yourselves a fantastic day. See you guys later, in a day, in a video, end of Silverado, powering down. Phew. You know what? One more just for fun. Fires right up, beautiful. Okay, final light shutting down in a day. See you guys later.